Right, here we go. How meth saved my life, part two. A while back, I got a quest to tell a couple more. Well, tell a story about how meth saved my life. I've got two stories. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you all tonight. Um, the first one is in Las Vegas, and I'm doing this live so that you can see that I'm not making these stories up. I'm telling you from fucking memory. So anyway, I'm in Las Vegas with my buddy, and we had gotten a hold of a couple grams of peanut butter crank is what they called it, and basically it was just like fucking sludge. No way. All right. Hey, thanks, Cody. Anyway, we get this peanut butter crank, and what we were doing, because you couldn't snort it, it was like I said, it was like sludge. So we were taking, we had bought some yellow jackets, I think they're called. Got some yellow jackets, and we filled the yellow jackets full of this fucking sludge, peanut butter crank, good shit. And fill it up, and we take these pills full of this fucking crank. It's meth, okay, but it's like a real dirty, nasty fucking meth. Um, so I take two pills worth of that, which is probably close to a gram of meth. And I remember I was leaning against the wall, and I was like trying to control my breathing, and I was hearing the train coming. You start with it like a ringing in your ears, and then it turns into like full blown sirens. And so I'm doing that, and finally get to the point where I can like maintain. So I go downstairs to the casino, and I was like playing like nickel slots, just kind of fucking around and shit. And I cash out, um, and I go outside because I feel like the walls are closing in on me. I'm kind of tripping on that. I go outside and I'm smoking a cigarette and I'm standing there, and this chick walks up to me, and I'm telling you, dude, she is fucking gorgeous. That's like the first fucking red flag. Gorgeous chick talking to you. No, don't do it. You're gonna die. So this gorgeous chick comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "Like, yeah, I came out from the Carolinas and visited a friend, and uh, you know, actually at that time I was living in Oklahoma, so I was like, yeah, I just came out from Oklahoma and I'm visiting a friend, or fucking visiting Vegas, having fun." She's like, "Right on, right on," and she's like, "Well, hey, if you want to hang out and everything, that's cool." I was like, "Well, right on." And we go in, we go to the bar, and we start playing the quarter slots, because like all the fucking at the bar, like all the little slot machines are like quarter slots. So I think I had a roll of quarters, so I threw like $5 in hers and $5 in mine, and she starts buying drinks, and drinks for like, I think they were like $1, if that, and I'm drinking Jaeger. Actually, I think I was drinking straight Jaeger. Be honest with you. So we're drinking and we're getting all fucked up and everything. Now, I'm sprung. I just done probably a good gram, probably more of that than of meth. So I'm zinging, and she starts laying on her fucking roll. Hey, couple couple $100. You can fucking hit this pussy. And I'm like, yeah, 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 whatever, and I'm like, I'm into my slots and I'm doing my fucking drinking. And actually, I think I had a beer with my Jaeger. Now that I think about it, Uh, I mean, I was about 27 years old when this happened, so it's been a little while. So we're drinking and doing Jaeger, or I'm doing Jaeger. I don't remember what the fuck she was drinking, and we end up we got a couple of drinks, and we walked back outside. They had like a little patio area there, and we're drinking out there. She's all, "Yeah, why don't you come back to my room? You know, $200. I'll suck. You know, half and half for $200." And I was like, that's a really good deal and all, but I was like, yeah, I just, I can't do it. And this is after I had already uh, been in that situation where meth saved my life again, or for the first time, where I almost ended up as either an involuntary organ donor or a fucking cabin boy, or where I was gonna end up being someone's fucking rape doll. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm all, once you come to my room, I said, I'll fucking take care of you. I love you, baby. I love you. I'll take care of you. Come to my room. And she was like, no, 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 I can't do that. I was like, all right. And it was about that time I noticed this dude. And this dude's like, he's fucking checking me out big time. I mean, this dude is scoping me big time. I was like, all right. So we go back in the casino, and she's like, well, if you're not going to do anything, she's all, I'm going to bounce. I was like, all right. She looks at me and she gets real close. And this is like seconds before dude walks in. She's all, you're really smart. I'm all, what do you mean? And she's all, you're really smart. She walks off, and dude, it was like perfect timing. Dude walks in and he's watching her and watching me and everything. She walks off and she goes like to the next dude. And I take off and kind of go over to the bar, and I'm sitting there drinking. And I watch her, and she goes over to another dude, and she's, laying on the same fucking roll and everything. And I watch dude, and he goes outside, and yeah, same fucking deal. He's sitting there fucking watching the whole interaction at the same time. I was about to get robbed. That's what was about to happen. So that's like number one right there. A couple years later, well, actually, no, it wasn't a couple years later. It's probably about a year later. I'm with Atlas Van Lines, and we're staying at the Wild Wild West. I'm geeked out again. Back then, meth was my thing, And I have to admit, meth has saved my life more than one time. Probably a handful of times. Being on meth gave me the fucking, not insight, but my father gave me the insight. My father was a Green Beret, so I always knew that people were always out to get me. The one thing my father taught me above all is never trust anybody, ever, under any circumstances. But the meth gave me the awareness to spot an ambush before it happened. That's one of the cool things about having a pops who was a Green Beret, and not just a Green Beret, but a highly decorated Green Beret. So at this time, I was working for Atlas Van Lines, and me and my buddy, we show up, check into our room, and he left the room, and of course I chalk him out, and I'm, getting down on my lines, which, if you're a trucker or you're working in that kind of fucking atmosphere, it's like welding or any of the construction jobs. Really, you're gonna find some meth eventually. So we go downstairs. I go down there. He's at a table, and he's just fucking throwing money away like it's free. So I go, and typical me, I go hit the nickel slots, and I'm fucking hanging out, doing my thing. And I had this chick. She's got this hard North Carolina fucking accent. And if you're from North Carolina, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Nobody in the world, and I mean that, nobody in the world talks like anybody from North Carolina or even South Carolina. South Carolina is a slight variation of North Carolina, but North Carolina, you've actually got, even in little towns, you got different accents and just different ways to say things. Everything is down yonder. If you don't know where down yonder is, you're pretty much fucked. But anyway, all right. I'm sitting there and I pick up on this, and she's actually hitting on my boss, right? And he's sitting there kind of talking to her, and of course I move in. Got to do my cock block. Hold up, this one's mine. So I go up and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Carolina?" And she says, "Oh, how'd you know I was from the Carolinas?" I said, I picked up on your accent and everything." And I'm all, "So where you from?" She's all, "I'm from Ellerby." Well, first she's all, "I'm from a little town you ain't never heard of." And I'm all, "Where you from?" She's all, "Ellerby." I'm all, "No way." I said, I said, "My family's from Rockingham," which is, it's like 20 miles, if that, from Ellerby. And she's like, "No way." And I started talking about my uncles and everything. She actually knew who my uncles were. And, we started chatting and everything. We played some fucking slots, and I took her over to a table. We played a little bit of blackjack and everything. And I was like, "Hey, hey, you want to do a little bump?" You know? And she's like, "What you got? You got some coke?" And I was like, "No, no, no." I said, "This is the West Coast. Out here we do meth." It's all right. So we leave the fucking casino and we head back to her room. At this point, I'm not really thinking real clear. I got that excitement, because it was like somebody from basically not really my hometown, but from a town where I know people, and everything. And I was real receptive to her fucking advances, and she was receptive to mine. So I was just like, hell yeah, let's do this. We go up to her room, and her room was like, it was like 2 rooms down, but like above ours. So we go over there, and I tell my supervisor, like, "Yeah, this is what's happening. Sorry about the cock block. And it wasn't the first time I cock blocked him, but anyway. So we go up there, and we walk in the room, and I'm sitting there, and I dump my dope out, and I start chalking up a couple lines. All of a sudden, I hear the fucking toilet flush. I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I fucking jerked, dude, because I'm like tripping. I was like, "Holy shit!" Because that like kind of threw me off right then and there, and so I like trip out and everything. And here's this dude. This dude's like fucking 6'4", not really buff, but he's a big dude. He was thick. So I'm looking at this dude, and I start sizing him up, and I can already see that he's sizing me up. And at that time, I'm 5'10". I probably weighed about 230. So for like, compared to him, for a short dude, I was a big dude. Somewhere between, yeah, I'd say about 230. I lift fucking shit all day, every day, and I was running that shit. So I was fit, I was big, and for somebody who's starting to fuck around with something, probably, predators looking for something a little smaller, something easy, something they know they can handle. And this dude, when he sized me up, I could see in his eyes, he's looking at me thinking, "Damn." Damn. So when he comes out and everything, I'm like, hey, what's up? He's all, not much, and all that. We kind of make a little bit of short talk. And I'm like, hey, you want a line? He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I check out another line, and we all do a couple of lines, and we're sitting there, and we're kind of chatting and everything. And I'm like trying to think, how am I going to get out of this? I need to get the fuck out of here because, I'm not one that, I'm not wanting to be in this situation. I know this dude, he, it's going to be a fight. I'm going to be fighting for my life, and he's going to be fighting for his life. And chick is going to be that fucking wild card, that's the one that comes in with a fucking little blade and starts sticking you in the ribs while you're fucking dealing with dude. So I start fucking talking my way, and I was like, well, what's up? I'm not give the chick a handshake. And I was like, yeah, I got to get back. I got work tomorrow. Y'all take care, kind of thing. And I ended up walking out of there. I go back downstairs, go back out of the casino, tell my supervisor the whole deal. And he was like, hey, let's go back up there and rob him. I was like, no. Let's try to avoid that situation. So, and actually, I have another meth story that actually saved my life. When me and my supervisor, the one I worked with Atlas Van Lines, when me and him first started working together, uh, I didn't know anybody up in the Bay Area. We moved from San Diego up to the Bay Area, which is Hayward, California, and we kind of served San Francisco, Oakland, Hayward, San Leandro, uh, San Mateo, and what was that other fucking town? There are a bunch of towns up there in the Bay Area, right? So I took my boss in to let me use his truck. Okay, he's already not real happy about it. I'm like, come on, dude. Let me do this. Let me get out of my own and spread my wings. I mean, my car, me and him were driving up to Northern California, and we're going up I-5, and I got up to the Grapevine, and we're coming down. I'm coming down the backside of the Grapevine, and I make it to Kettleman City, and my fucking engine blew up. Literally, my fucking engine blew up. I'm doing 120 miles an hour, which, I mean, it was my fault. It was fucking my fault. I'm doing 120 miles an hour. My fucking engine blows up. I get stranded in Kettleman City. He was like probably like 100 miles behind me, literally like 100 miles behind me. And he actually saw me walking. I was like right almost to the off ramp at Kettleman City. He picks me up, and I was probably 50 miles from Kettleman City. He picks me up. We go there. I get into a truck, have my car towed to fucking Kettleman City. They fucking determine engine toast. I ended up catching a Greyhound from Kettleman City to San Leandro. Or no, to Hayward. San Leandro. So I go to San Leandro. My boss picks me up and everything. And I'm like, let me use your truck. I need to spread my wings. Meet some people, all this shit. So I hook up with this dude that I worked with out there at Hayward, and he takes me to this bar in San Leandro. Okay, I'm kind of tripped out about the whole situation. We get there, and I see these dudes, and they're all like listening to thrash metal and fucking Metallica and Slayer and heavy metal. So I was like, fuck it, let's try this. So I go up, I'm like, hey, what's up? This, that, and the other. Fucking, I threw all my flags out, hey, fucking red and white supporter, Hell's Angels, and everything. I threw everything I knew out there, and they were like, right on, right on. And they're like, hey, we got this fucking after party going up at the pad. All right, let's go to the pad. I was like, fuck it. All right, I'm like 27 years old at this point, so it's like early '98. It's before I made my way to Oklahoma. So we go to this dude's house, right? And I'm like tripped out because I seen just by driving up there, they got concrete barriers all around his neighborhood, which is what Oakland did when they were like trying to crack down on the drug dealing and people running and shit like that. So we get up to this dude's house, and I bring this dude with me who I worked with. So we get up there, and we're all like smoking weed, and we're listening to fucking some metal and shit, and kind of thrashing out. And I started putting the fucking feelers out. It's like, hey, I don't know where to get any dope. Where's the dope? What's up with some dope? And finally, a dude's like, yeah, I can get you some dope. So, and he was talking to like $100 a gram. So I was like, fuck, all right, whatever. So I throw out 100. And he comes back and he's got a gram. So I was like, okay. So I go in the bathroom and I do a line. And next thing I know, I got a fucking line of people at the door. And so I check a couple people out, and I was like, hey, let's get another line here. Let's get some more here. So I throw a couple 100 more out, and I buy 2 more grams. And I kind of chalked everybody out and did everybody line. Well, the dude that owned the place, he's like, hey, come on, check this shit out. So he takes me into his room and he shows me he's got a fucking Chinese paratrooper fucking AK-47 fully automatic. I was like, God damn, dude, this dude's for real. And he's telling me all this shit. He's got these connections with the Chinese dudes down in San Francisco and Chinatown and shit, and he can get all this fucking weaponry and fucking drugs and all this shit. I was just like, God damn, that's deeper than I want to go, All right, I'm just a petty thug, okay? So dude's like, he's telling me all this shit and everything. And we come out of the room and everything. And dude I'm telling you, this motherfucker passes out, smashes his head against their fucking glass coffee table and shatters it. I was just like, oh my God. Oh my, what have you done? What have you done? Do you realize what you've done? So I'm like, pick him up. I'm like telling everybody, hey, don't trip. I got the cash. I'll fucking take care of it. It's not a big deal. That, I'm fucking going off. I was like, come on, and I pick dude up and I take him out to the fucking truck and put him in there. And as I'm coming back, I'm walking up and I'm kind of looking at the ground and I see this fucking red dot on the ground. I was just like, oh, fuck, man. And I watch the red dot come up and I watch it come up my body and I look and I can see the red dot and I see the dude standing there with the AK and I was just like, God damn, well, that's that. And I was sitting there and I finally I put my fucking hands up. I was just like, yeah, you got me, what can I do? And they all started laughing. I was just like, I mean, that was one of the rare times where I was like, actually, like, I was like, well, that's that. That's a wrap. We're fucking done now. So, yeah, those are a couple of stories there. I don't remember who it was who was wanting to hear the fucking meth stories, but there they are. I hope you enjoyed them and have a good one. Y'all take care and laters.